Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So as I'm sure you all know, not all self-defense incidents are cut and dry. It's not like the movies. There's not always going to be a witness to corroborate your story. There's not always going to be some camera that recorded the whole thing that you can give to law enforcement to clear your name. In a lot of instances, you're the good guy, you're the defender, and you're the one that's put in handcuffs. And it's for that reason that I have Attorneys on Retainer as the sponsor of this channel. Now, I've made a few videos this week talking about AOR's new programs, some of the new stuff they have to offer. I talked about how people that are already with Attorneys on Retainer are going to have to re-sign up with this program to get the new features. And I've talked about what the new features are. And that got me a lot of questions in my inbox from people asking me, what's going on? Well, I want to clarify that today, talk to you guys about the new program, what you need to do to get it, and I want to talk about some of the new features as well that could save your ass, especially in things like red flags, civil liabilities, and stuff like that. So again, Attorneys on Retainer sponsors this channel, but I want to make this video to clarify some of the stuff that I've said in previous videos this week. So let's get to it. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about what's going on here because again, AOR just launched their new updated program this week. And because I've made a couple ads about it in previous videos this week, it's generated a lot of questions in my email. People want to know what's going on, especially existing members of the current AOR program. Now, before we talk about the new program, all the new benefits and all of the new coverages and how to get those, I think it's important to mention that at the end of this year, prices are going up. So if you're somebody who signs up today throughout the end of the year, or you're an existing member who re-signs up today or through the rest of the year, they're actually going to lock in your rate until 2030. So your price will not change until 2030. And that's AOR's way of saying thank you for becoming a customer. Thank you for being a loyal customer, for jumping in on this program and all of its new features and details. They're going to go ahead and lock you in. So again, I would definitely suggest signing up soon. Now, my previous videos have definitely generated a lot of questions from people who are existing members of AOR because I mentioned that you have to re-sign up for this new program, the Attorneys on Retainer Association. So this is a very simple process. AOR should have sent you an email. In that email, there should be a code. You take that code and the link, and you just basically follow the steps to re-sign up. All your information should already be generated for you. So all that information should already be in there. The only thing that shouldn't be in there is going to be like your credit card information, right? Or the payment information. They don't hang on to that. They don't keep that. So you're going to have to put that in again. But your payment due dates, all that stuff is going to remain exactly the same. So it is a very easy process. Once you go through that process and you finish up, it stays exactly like it was before. You just now have access to all of the new benefits that AOR has created through this new program. Now, if you're somebody who's brand new, it's just basically a seamless process. I went through it myself. You just simply sign in, you sign up, you add your information, you say if you want it to be a family plan or a single person's plan, and you choose your membership and you go through the process. It's very simple. And then bam, when you're done, they send you a welcome letter, they'll send you a membership card, and you will be able to enjoy all of the benefits of this new program as well. But let's talk about what those new benefits are because there are some pretty major differences now. Now, I think the obvious thing to mention here first is that the Attorneys on Retainer Association is not backed by a third-party insurance agency that can make decisions about your coverage. They are backed by Attorneys for Freedom. They are the only ones making determinations about your coverage. And as long as you meet just 3 simple criteria, you will be covered. As a matter of fact, they have almost no exclusions. As long as you can claim self-defense, you will be covered. And this is directly from their mouths.
Attorneys for Freedom Law Firm, that's our law firm, solely makes the decisions on what constitutes a self-defense related matter. And it's the same 3 criteria as it has always been. You sign up for the program before the incident occurs. You are expecting to be charged with a crime or you are charged with a crime. And then finally, you can assert self-defense in good faith. as a defense. If you meet all those three, we're going to cover you. It's the same as it's always been.
We're the ones who make that decision.
That's right. And there's no exclusion for criminal acts or negligent discharge or illegal weapons, domestic violence, any weapon, no weapon can be used as long as it's self-defense, expired permit, no permit when required, using a firearm in a prohibited place, using a firearm as a prohibited possessor, using alcohol or drugs at the time of the self-defense incident, non-deadly force, and other common exclusions that you see in all these other programs specifically listed out in our contract, not excluded from coverage.
Now, this next one could be one of the most important things for you, and it's definitely what sets AOR apart from some of their competitors. And that's the fact that you do not have to repay their legal services if you are found guilty. You could be found guilty, you could take a lesser charge in a plea deal and be found guilty, and you still won't have to repay for attorneys on retainer's legal services. So other programs, if you're found guilty or you take a lesser charge, a plea deal, but still in that case you're found guilty, right? You may have to repay all of those legal fees back to that other company. With attorneys on retainer, you do not have to do that. So all of the expenses that are paid on your behalf are simply paid on your behalf. You do not have to worry about any type of repayment. And to me, that is like the best peace of mind that you could ever imagine. So with that being said, let's take a look at the new benefits that you would get if you sign up as a new member today, or you're somebody who's an existing member that re-signs up today. And I'll put a list up on the screen so you can see them, and we'll explain each one. Now, the one that excites me the most is going to be the red flag coverage. Obviously, there's a lot of instances out there where people abuse this system. It's a great way to disarm somebody, to take away their Second Amendment rights. There's virtually no due process whatsoever. If you get red flagged, a lot of times you don't know about it until after the fact, and then you have to represent yourself in court and try and prove that you're not what that person accused you of. It is a nightmare, and I've talked to a lot of people. I've actually talked to several people who have been red flagged in the past, and they've explained what an absolute nightmare it is. You do not want to go that alone. So now AOR offers coverage if you get red flagged and you're a member, so you were already a member before it happened, and let's say you get red flagged, you can call that member number and you can talk to somebody and they will take care of you through that process. So you're not going to have to go it alone. You will have Attorneys for Freedom on your side through that red flag that you're experiencing. It's a very stressful situation, basically having your Second Amendment rights removed from you. So again, red flag coverage is a very big one for me. Now, the other thing that they're now going to be offering is going to be civil liability coverage. So even if, let's say, for instance, you have a self-defense incident, right? You go to court and it's proven that you were the defender, you were the good guy, you get off scot-free. All the charges are dropped, everything is done. That doesn't mean that the family of the person who was involved, technically the bad guy, doesn't come after you for some type of financial gain later on. Well, now Attorneys on Retainer Association covers civil liability up to $100,000. Now, that's a good amount for several reasons. There's a reason why it's not $1 million or $2 million. When you have some type of ridiculous number like that attached to your name, you could almost guarantee that the attorney for the opposing family is 100% going to sue you, because all they see is dollar signs. They see this big bankroll and they're going to try and get as much of that as possible. $100,000 is guaranteed to you by Attorneys on Retainer for civil liabilities. Now, another new benefit that you're going to get is going to be online training. And this is something that a lot of people have been asking about, because online training can mean several different things. Not just simply the act of defending yourself, but training you on what to do if a situation arises, right? Let's say the situation is over. How do you handle it with law enforcement? How do you handle it if you're the one that ends up in handcuffs? Exactly what do you do? How do you handle that scenario? There's a lot of great videos already on the Attorneys on Retainer YouTube channel that you can check out there. They've talked to people that they've covered in the past who are Attorneys on Retainer members who recall the stories of them being the defender and still ending up in handcuffs, and Attorneys on Retainer ended up getting them out and took care of them through the process. So there's a lot of great videos already over there. But on as part of this new membership, you're going to get that online education and training that a lot of people have been asking for. So obviously there's a lot of new perks with this new program. As a matter of fact, AOR did a great video about the entire new program. I'll link that video down below if you want an even longer explanation. But for me, the best part about it is they don't care where you are. They don't care if you're in a gun-free zone. They don't care if you're using something that you shouldn't have. They don't care if your permit's expired or you didn't have a permit at all. As long as you can articulate that you were defending yourself and you were already a member of AOR, they're going to be there for you to defend you. And that's like the best possible peace of mind that you could ever have. So I absolutely love the program. There's a reason that I left the company that I was with before, and there's a reason that I signed up with AOR. I think that they are the best that you're going to find out there, and the best just got better, and it's worth checking out. Again, make sure if you're somebody who's thinking about signing up that you do it soon so you're locked in until 2030. Again, AOR is a sponsor of this channel, so take that for what you will, but I just think it's the best program that you're going to find out there today. And again, if you want more information, check out the links in the description box. There'll be some discounts down there as well, and the link to AOR's video explaining exactly what the program entails, what it changes, and how they were able to do that. So anyway, I want to thank you all very much for watching. Hopefully that answered your questions, and for those new and existing members. But thank you guys again very much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe. You guys have a great day.